The highly anticipated June 10th update for Le Mans Ultimate just dropped their trailer, and I thought I'd turn into a bit of a react, Andy, and watch it and give my thoughts to you guys as it's going along. So let's get straight into the trailer.
Hello again, welcome to another Le Mans Ultimate update. This release, scheduled for the 10th of June, marks another major milestone on our journey. Our last major update at the end of February brought you a very positively received LMU
How
GT3
big that car is compared to the Ferrari and McLaren.
Major heads-up display improvements, as well as new content.
Yeah, the past update
the
was
LMU
really
GT3
nice.
was added as free DLC for all players, and the release of Pack 4 also brought the latest generation Aston Martin Vantage and Porsche 911 GT3R LMGT3s to life.
God, I love the look of that Porsche.
Since that update in April, as some of you may have been aware, our business received brand new investment, which means that we can continue making, refining and improving Le Mans Ultimate to be the very best of sports car sim racing. This is something that we are internally very proud of, but you, our passionate fan base, have made this possible through your invaluable feedback and very positive reviews. More on this to come in the future. Since launching Early Access, we've been working closely with you, the community, to build and refine the game into something worthy of its name. And today's update is another huge step in that process.
That is one thing that I just wanted to say, actually. There is somewhere, I think, on my YouTube page, I'll even put some footage of it on screen. I bought this game when it initially first came out as early access. I know it still is, but it's come a long, long way when it first dropped. But through these updates, and I know this whole early access thing, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but through these updates and like kind of drip feeding content and making sure everything is more refined and the fixes and the hot fixes and patches, like the stage that the game at now is really good. And obviously if they keep kind of fixing these issues, especially with like GT3 tires and stuff like that, then like the potential for this game is huge in the future.
From multiplayer depth to fresh cars and circuits, there's a lot to talk about, so let's get into it. Number 1, driver.
Finally,
we'll be running our first events, where you can hand over the car to another player mid-race during our live online endurance events using the new driver swap feature. You will be able to enjoy the strategy and teamwork required to share in a car's success or failure over multi-hour races. After registering for the event as part of a team, which we will cover later on in this video, you and your teammates are able to swap in the pit lane by selecting the next driver in the pit menu.
Nice. On the UI is perfect as well.
MFD. Compared to our previous titles, we have made various core code changes to improve security, performance and functionality. When you join a server, the game knows which car you are participating with, enabling your teammates to configure your pit stops. This has the additional bonus of allowing any team member to resume from the pit lane in the unfortunate case of a technical issue. What's the state of this feature in the release?
Which is good. I won't name the sim, but obviously there is another popular sim that does something like that. However, if I am correct, they don't do it perfectly, because it happened to me in a recent race, actually, of the Sebring 12 hour, where my teammate had a bit of a connection issue. It did actually happen in a way, the car was getting towed. So I'm going to assume that they're going to do something similar. So for example, if you're on a part of a track, like at Sebring, if you just cross the start finish line and then your teammate has a disconnect there, I'd imagine it give you a bit of a tow time, obviously, for the car to get towed all the way around the track, then bring it to the pits. But still, there's a really, really good like implementation into the game. So in case, obviously, a lot of technical difficulties in sim racing, someone's wheel disconnects or internet failures or computer or power turns off, something like this is really huge. And again, a welcome addition, especially into driver swaps.
Well, whilst we have intensively tested this internally with the help of some community members, the large-scale performance testing of servers and driver swap information many hours into a race is not an easy task for a team of our size. Therefore, we are releasing it first only in special events so that we can closely monitor performance and make adjustments in our own environment. We will publish upcoming team-based special events across our social media and in-game channels, so keep an eye on those to find out when these will be available. In future, we will be expanding these races to create new team-based online championships and to leagues via Race Control.
That's cool.
And SimGrid as we gain.
Online team championships, I think, is going to be huge, especially if it's all built into the UI, like some of the championships are already, like the multi-class masters and all that kind of stuff. They're already baked into the UI. So if you add multi-team races into that as well, potential for that is huge. Like the people that would sign up to race control to join those championships would be insane, I think.
In confidence in the feature's robustness. Number 2, team management. Rather than just allowing one-off entries into races, we've created a team dynamic in Le Mans Ultimate powered by race control that allows you to create a team.
That's a cool thing, by the way. Like preferred race number. That's a cool thing. Again, in other sims, I've not really paid much attention to it, but I think you can get a preference of a race number. But like having first choice, second choice, and third choice, so you have 3 strikes basically, hopefully, to get your number. So I'd imagine number 420 and 69 are going to be pretty popular demand.
Identity and invite your friends into it. You'll then be able to nominate roles for your teammates and assign them to cars or lineups. You'll find teams available in the top right of the navigation bar.
I like also how the UI has been cleaned up. You guys can't even see it. Let me shift myself over here. So now the UI has been cleaned up. So this long bar that you had at the top previously with like your driver rate and everything's been pushed to the corner. So it's a more subtle UI changes like this are very, very appreciated. So LMU UI team, if you're listening to me, kudos to you because I like all of this. Everything baked into like a menu in the corner is perfect. I hate it when all the UI is cluttered and everything's just on the screen. Like this is a welcome feature.
From this menu, you can see your invites, accept or reject them, or create your own team directly inside the game itself. When creating
that's cool as well.
You'll be able to upload a logo and also
hello. We pausing? Yeah, that's cool. The you can just see like overview of your team's stats, DNF members, top 10. That's cool. That's really, really cool. Hopefully, I'd imagine there will be a way to look into this and see which races you got a top 5, which races you got a top 10, which races you did. Like another menu into that to see which races. I'd imagine there'll be like a team race history or something like that. But again, LMU devs, if you're listening to this, I'd recommend something like that would be pretty cool to see which races you've done well in and which ones you haven't.
Itself. When creating a team, you'll be able to upload a logo and also a background page for all your teammates to see, which will then be used elsewhere in event pages. Here's a bit more information about the roles that are available. Driver. What it says on the tin. Drive the car, and that is all they do. Engineer. This role will allow a player to be on the server.
This is huge.
From the car and session.
This is huge.
To make pit stop changes. As you can see on the new watch screen that we are making.
That is an unbelievable update, honestly. Unbelievable. Because I know there's a lot of teams out there, you know, one of their friends they don't want them to drive or, you know, they're not available. So to have someone as an engineer to hop in and be like, yo, you know, you're losing times on this sector or whatever. And to kind of have an overview of the information like they've got here. You can see timing, stints. I'd imagine that's going to be so how long someone's driven. So you can see if someone's going to get out the car or if they're going to stay in the car, if they've just started or if they've just done 3 hours. That's an amazing UI change. And you can see everything at the top, standings, MFD, track map. I'd imagine you can see all your different menus up there as well. So engineers and people who love kind of grinding through data and stuff like that, that's a huge update for you.
Making available for team races. There's quite a lot of detail to sink your teeth into. The engineer role, if used correctly, can be an invaluable contributor to your team's success or failure.
Yeah, so you can see at the top here, you got standings, MFD, timing, track map, pit stop, car status, and replay bar. So even replay bar, so you can just watch back like an incident or something that happened. Huge, absolutely huge. I'd be curious to see how the game handles with the replay, because right now it can be a bit starty, stoppy, a bit jank basically. So I'm hoping if it's, you know, baked in correctly, then like just kind of simultaneously, like something just happened, you can hit rewind and watch it back like smoothly. That would be a very, very cool change.
Manager. This role allows a team member to assign players to different car lineups, assign liveries and register them for races. Team owner. Has all of the aforementioned, but can also change ownership. Everyone can make a team of up to 6 members with one lineup. For those players that want to have larger teams, the team owner needs to be a Race Control Pro or Pro Plus subscriber.
That's cool.
Enabling the ability to have up to 100 members and up to 10 lineups.
That's pretty cool.
Number 3. Custom liveries. Our brand new livery system allows you to upload a livery to apply to a car on a particular team, and then it will be
you guys can see
automatically transmitted to all drivers and spectators on a server. For now, this feature is...
See, that's amazing. Not having any other additional programs open and everything being in the game. I think it's what some sim racers have wanted for a very long time. And I'm talking about overlays and liveries and this and that and other timing applications. if we can have everything in the sim, but then if we can customize it in a way that we can just take off UI elements and, change everything, we've hit the jackpot.
Is only available for online, single driver and team-based. Since this feature requires significant back-end infrastructure and bandwidth to automatically send deliveries across to all competitors, this feature is only available to Race Control Pro and Pro Plus players.
Fairs.
But light players in a team-based race where the team owner has a pro account will also be able to utilize custom liveries in those events.
Nice.
Firstly, head to the livery section from Profile and go to the livery management screen and click on Create New Car and select the model of car you want to create a livery for, and you'll load into the showroom. You can access the templates for the car by following the instructions on screen. The templates are Photoshop PSD,
huge,
but are available to be edited in free-to-access editors as well.
Absolutely huge.
There are 2 files you need to pay attention to.
Like, I'm saying this as in, there are some people I know, obviously they love to get into the nitty and gritty of something, so they'll open it in Photoshop, everything will be so nicely placed and everything. Me personally, I'm not really too into liveries and livery editing, but it's kind of cool to have your own personal car. So to have it in the game, so I don't need to do something crazy in Photoshop, is huge, absolutely huge.
The livery file and the region file. The livery file should be made exactly how you want it to look in terms of colours and placements of logos. The region map allows you to map areas of the car to different types of material, such as chrome or metallic looks. Try experimenting with the different finish and effects to get the look you want.
So that's nice. That's
Both
like spec
these
maps.
Files must be exported as Targa or TGA file to appear in the showroom.
Nice.
Once you're done here, it's time to upload. This then places the livery in the queue for our back-end renderers powered by the Race Control service. It will automatically generate icons for the UI and record it in the
How
database.
as well? That it's just in the game like that next to official liveries is so cool. And selecting different car numbers as well, which is so cool. Really, really cool.
It may take a little bit of time, but you'll get a notification in the main menu when the process is complete. When you select this livery for your online event, it will automatically be transferred to all the other players on the grid so that they can see your paint scheme in all its glory. One warning, however. Players will be able to report liveries in the post-race reporting, and breaking the terms of
that's
use
necessary nowadays.
could result in serious and even permanent bans from the online service.
That's necessary.
This is something many of you have requested since launch, and we're thrilled to make it available in all race control events. In future, they'll be available for private servers as well, but will require pre-registration of the cars you will be driving. Whether you're building your dream design or repping your team sponsors, custom liveries let your creativity shine through. Whilst this feature is only available for online sessions for now, in future we hope to expand this to single-player race weekend as well. Number 4. The 2024 season completed. Pack 5, also releasing on the 10th of June, is the final one for the 2024 FIA Web
Qatar.
Lusail International Circuit, the opening race of the World Championship,
Great
making
track.
its debut in Le Mans Ultimate. Utilising the latest laser scan from the summer of 2024, we've built this once again with Studio 397's famed attention to detail. Floodlit and fast, Lusail offers a unique mix of technical corners and long straights, perfect for multi-class racing and offering a unique challenge. Not only that, but we're also adding the short circuit that is likely to be spicy and full of action as it cuts out the majority of the circuit's slower sector 2. Joining the LMGT3 class are 2 highly anticipated cars.
Lambo and
Firstly,
Lexus?
the
Yes.
Lamborghini Huracan LMGT3 Evo 2.
For anyone that's been fortunate enough to see like a GT World Challenge race or like the Spa 24 Hours or something like that, the sound of this V10 is unbelievable. So I hope that they can replicate that sound in the game, because honestly, that's one of the reasons why I love driving this car.
As run by both Iron Lynx and the Iron Dames in 2024, but sadly missing from the 2025.
Yeah, RIP, doesn't even get used now.
Additionally, the fan favourite Lexus RCF LMGT.
I think this is like a car that's it's like an underdog. I think everyone has been wanting to drive this for so long. Obviously, it's been in IMSA for a while now. Finally, this sim has taken appreciation and added it into the game. Obviously, it's taken a while to get here, but I think this is the only sim I know that has this car in its current spec that's drivable, right? Any other sims that I don't know actually, apart from mods on AC, you can't actually drive this car. So to have one modeled and, designed by an actual studio, I'm really looking forward to it.
T3 offers a distinct look and feel to the GT grid and will no doubt become one of the most popular cars on track. With this final 2024
That sounds
pack
so
added,
nice.
the game now offers a grand total of 11 circuits with 21 layouts, 11 hypercars, 1 LMP2, 4 GTEs and 9 LMGT3s, 25 in total. We hope you enjoy racing them as much as we have enjoyed creating them in all of the painstaking detail.
I'm excited. I'm excited.
Number 5. Other updates. The LMGT3 tyre model has had another significant refinement.
GT3 drivers, rejoice.
Slip angle and increasing
Rejoice.
low speed weight, whilst keeping the stability and predictability of the tyre that you've come to expect. As always, with plenty of feedback from real-world drivers, we hope it is something you'll enjoy. Race starts have had a bit of a polish, including the class splits being respected. This means that classes are now correctly grouped together,
Nice.
even if they don't qualify, and class pole position
Needed
will
as well.
also receive the best side of the grid.
Needed.
We've also implemented gaps between classes as well, meaning that by the time the LMU
If the gap is this big, I don't know. It's still, if it's possible, it might need to be bigger because some of the messes that happen in Hypercar, like the back end of the GT3 field still gets tangled up into it. So I don't know if this will be the gap. We'll find out, I guess, on the June 10th. But yeah, my only wish is that they made the gap significantly larger because, man, sometimes I know them Hypercars, the field gets so muddled up and messed up that the GTs just get involved in so many wrecks because the hypercars don't want to lose the rest of the field, so they just try to rejoin the track as quick as possible, which messes everyone up.
GT3s turn up at turn 1, hopefully the hypercars have sorted out their mess. For fuel-saving aficionados, the clutch pedal has now been disabled above
Finally. Also, a new little fuel
first gear,
MFD.
meaning you'll have to lift and coast normally like the rest of us. Additionally, the fuel tab on the multifunction,
which is huge. Like I said earlier at the start of this video, to finally have basically a fuel calculator is amazing, baked into the game. Amazing. One little thing, again, S397, devs or anyone, if you're listening to me, please, this is one request for me and I really, really would like it. I have a button box, so I'd like to access these menus separately one by one. If you can make it so I can just press one button to go to my tires, then one to the fuel, rather than trying to sift from here all the way over to here and then back to here to see my relative, please, that would make my world so much easier. I'd appreciate it. Please and thank you.
display or MFD has been completely
But this is mega.
revised
This is
so that you can
absolutely
access some
mega.
interesting information about your consumption and allowing you to set lap targets to extend your stint, with warnings if your engineer doesn't think you will make it.
That's mega. So for some people that don't know, I'm just going to quickly rewind it as well. So if you go to the bottom, I think, of the electronics menu, there's a lap target. And on some cars, I don't think the Ferrari has it, so it might be done on the wheel. On some cars, you'll have brows, small little things that sit on top here, on top of the dashboard. These will kind of count down with like purple lights normally, and it's basically telling you where to lift and coast to try and hit your lap target. So to have like all of this technology inside the sim is so cool. And using, again, the electronics built into the game to calculate lap targets, to try save 1 lap of fuel, 2 laps of fuel, and virtual energy is really, really nice. But taking a look at this as well, it's like predicting a strategy for you, which I think is, again, absolutely amazing, because I've been running some overlays and sometimes they'll be a bit off and I've taken too much or too less. So to hopefully have something like this, again, built into the game is so cool. Again, another request will be from here, though, to move elements around. Some people want to have this, but I don't want to have mine in the top corner. And like, I love the speedo in this game. It's great. But like, I just want to know my fuel and virtual energy. I don't really want to have this whole kind of big speedo and telling me if my lights are on or anything like that. So if we can kind of have condensed UI elements would be amazing. I guess we'll find out when the actual patch notes drop, when the update's going to drop. But yeah, just some kind of small feature request from me.
Have to lift and coast normally like the rest of us.
But huge update,
Additionally,
finally.
the fuel tab on the multifunction display or MFD has been completely revised so that you can access some interesting information about your consumption and allowing you to set lap targets to extend your stint, with warnings if your engineer doesn't think you will make it. We've also made some significant updates to the game by removing a middleware layer that would often crash but leave no actionable information for the development team. Whilst you won't see any changes here, this change should enable us in future to make more progress with this type of issue. As always, this is just a small taste of the improvements we're bringing.
Looking forward to it, man. Looking forward to it.
Full release notes when they are made available.
June 10th.
What's next? Here's where I would normally give you a preview of the next update, but this time we're going to do things a little differently. 3 days after this update is due to release, 10th of June in case you've forgotten, on the 13th of June we'll be joining the ACO press conference in Le Mans on the eve of the 24-hour race. Since that's not open to the public, we'll simultaneously release the information on our upcoming plans with a similar video to this one. We just know you're going to love it. Until then, you'll have to enjoy the soundtrack as our first little clue.
I'm going to turn this up. I think everybody knows what this is, but if you don't, this is definitely the Aston Martin Valkyrie.
Until then, you'll have to enjoy the soundtrack as our first little clue.
That is definitely the naturally aspirated V12 from the Valkyrie. So huge, huge update for LMU. So I'm guessing this is going to take them from early access to an actual full release game, like a 1.0 build, which again is huge. I've been playing this since it first came out. When it did first came out, I tried it for a few hours, and obviously it was a bit of a buggy mess. Things were a bit weird and a bit wrong and just didn't work great. But now I'm sinking a lot of hours into it, getting really into the hypercars, how the electronics works and all that kind of stuff. So it's amazing. So a huge update from S397. I hope you guys continue doing what you're doing, and I really look forward to it. If you guys want to see more sim racing videos, don't forget to drop a like on the video and hit the sub button on my channel as well. Take care, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching. Peace.